We are back in the Champions League. Words President Hichilema repeated today, not as a slogan, but as proof. Jobs are coming, mines are reopening, confidence is back.
Minister, I hereby authorize you to sign the local content. You have the authority.
Now, the President announced authorization of the signing of the local content statutory instrument by the Minister of Mines, a decisive move that cements Zambia's participation in the mine value chain. Now, it means local suppliers, contractors, and service providers will no longer stand outside looking in. They will now form part of the ecosystem that drives production, jobs, and community wealth.
And the President has put on record putting ZCM. The way ZCM is running is because the President is putting us on the spot to lead the way in the gold subsector, in the manganese subsector. So we are going to set up all these marketing points, not only for manganese, but for gold. So today was a happy occasion, and I think we have all seen that. Mining is the future for Zambia. The levels of employment, next year, April, in Mingomba is going to be the largest mine discovered in Africa for copper with very, very high grade. We are starting to sink shaft. You know, in the many years that I lived in Wansha and the copper belt, these mining shafts, we were born and we found them. But in our lifetime, we are seeing new shafts being sunk.
But this wasn't just a mining conversation. It was a national direction. The head of state placed Zambia's resurgence in its wider context: digital transformation, regional trade, and structural reform, all feeding one another.
The local content is obviously a big, and I know it's already trending after his announcement. We are expecting that. I think that's great for local entities. Obviously, when it comes to experience and support, Pan-African companies like ourselves, we partner with local entities to support them, build capacity. It's good to look in-house for the beneficiation of Zambia through the services and products and supply. Obviously, it needs to be linked to the quality, delivering on time, and yes, it is for the African continent. It is quite accustomed to operate with majority local ownership.
Now, from Lusaka to Muchinga, the message was simple: growth will be built on partnership, accountability, and capacity. Over $12 billion United States dollars in new mining investments are already reshaping the landscape. Lumwana Super Pit, Kansanshi, Mingoma, Kitumba, each adding muscle to the national economy and restoring investor confidence. The President highlighted new projects taking root in Muchinga, where gold and phosphate developments are already in motion, and stated that the reform agenda remains open, consultative, and grounded in performance.
In Muchinga, we want to see a big gold mine there. We want to see a phosphate mine there. Dr. Sixtus Mulenga, he and I shook hands in Chinsali 2 months ago, 1 month ago, that our agenda is to at least 2 large mines in Muchinga.
He also reminded Africa that digitalization is the new liberation, calling for aligned systems, shared knowledge, and seamless trade across borders, not through intermediaries, but through Africa-built platforms. The push for a connected continent, he said, is what will unlock Africa's true market power.
So the open access agreement, whilst it's still almost not quite finished, but it gives us great confidence that we can wield that power anywhere around the country or out of the country, which wasn't achievable before. So now it's not so critical where we site things in Zambia, because we can, with confidence, wield the power through the ZESCO network or the CEC network to the mining sector to try and attain that increased copper production that is the target. And we think we're quite an important part of that journey.
At its core, the President's message was one of discipline and delivery. He cautioned against insufficiency and corruption, urging local suppliers to earn trust through quality, reliability, and hard work. Mines in turn were reminded to pay local contractors promptly and build lasting partnerships. Okay? Right here in the capital at Mulungushi International Conference Center, it wasn't just a conference, it was Zambia stating its position with quiet confidence, open for business, serious about growth, firm on accountability. Now, the INSACA is essentially the country's annual national dialogue on mining and investment, hosted by the Ministry of Mines and Minerals Development in collaboration with the private sector. It was first established last year and, as the president put it, back in the Champions League.